Welcome back to FaceitTV, guys. So sorry for all the delays. We apologize sincerely, but all the matches that weren't thus far played will be rescheduled. So just stay tuned to all the social channels, the usual ones, to stay up to date with what's happening and when find out when those matches will actually be completed. And we have Savage and we do have Cloud9 ready to play on Nuke, and this is obviously going to be quite an interesting match. As Cloud9 are being on quite a tear. Obviously, as they are essentially the premium, the most premium of US teams currently, and are complete fan favorites. I mean, especially after their ESL One run. So Savage definitely with a lot of work to do, but we have seen a lot of good stuff from them recently.
Yeah, they are. I mean, widely considered as the strongest team in America. They do seem to often lose to their arch nemesis, iBuyPower, but they are still considered the strongest team, and they're doing well in the league at the moment. So we're about to go into the knife round here, so we'll see how they do. Once again, we're going to have Nuke here, so we'll see who ends up on the CT side shortly.
Yeah, definitely. I hope for Savage's sake they actually win this knife round. Would be pretty demoralizing to face off against Cloud9 on starting off as T, but I'm going to see this knife round commencing right now. And yeah, I mean, Cloud9, I wonder how this team is going to end up doing it in the future European events as well, because this team has it all, really. It pretty much has everything. They perform under pressure. They read the game very well. They have great calls. They have good range of strategies, and obviously all players are very tactically informed, as it were. So they have the whole package to be a really top level team that they can go super deep in tournaments, as we've seen them do. So I'm quite curious if this lineup sticks together, what it's going to pull out in the future. And when it comes to Savage, of course, we've only seen recently the matches that they played in the FACEIT League, and I do recall a lot of good stuff coming out of players like Dumont and Valens, and I can't wait to see what they're able to show us here, because Cloud9 is one of these US teams to beat. So why wouldn't you be watching their demos? Why wouldn't you be looking for the weaknesses in their games to try to exploit? And there's got to be patterns. Every team has patterns and trends. Every team does. It's just a fact.
I remember when they were Complexity, Cloud9, at I think it was DreamHack Winter. They had some really interesting strats, like set plays on the T side of Nuke, where they were throwing Molotovs through the roof into A that was landing on the hut.
Yeah.
But then they were throwing smokes on it afterwards and other crazy things. But we haven't really seen a lot of those strats. So I suppose they tried and tested them, and kind of their tactics have evolved. So I do wonder if Cloud9 will have anything useful on the, well, not useful, but anything new for us to see on the T side of Nuke. But we are on the CT side of them at the moment, so we'll see what they have to show us. And looks like
second upper rush just straight out the hut right now. Shroud with a great first shot there onto Valens, already dropping one. All squared up though, as we see Elevate. Is he going to get dropped? And right now it looks like the bomb is planted, so this is obviously a big moment here for Savage. Now if they can make this defense work, but they already have the bomb down, so they've already got that money secured. But can they win the round off the back of this? Looks like Cloud9 executing very well with these pistols, but wow, glorinsz coming in with 2 quick kills, but there is Hiko to end it all, and it will be a defuse here from Hiko, as we do have plenty of time.
so. Again, that's a pretty critical round, more critical than on other maps because it is a lopsided map for the CTs. But important that Savage did get the bomb plant down there, so should they choose to, and I think they probably will, they can buy on the second round. They may choose, I mean, I know Hades is an AWPer, so they may choose to opt for the third round buy, but I think they're going to be more concerned with trying to keep the Cloud9 economy as low as possible. So I'm probably expecting the AKs to come out on the second round here. So, sorry, on the second round. So, sorry, the third round. My mind's gone crazy.
Sorry,
but
James,
you have got the eco. You have got the eco pistols here, so they'll try and get some damage in. Nothing's on 57 HP. I think Cloud9 will be fine here. They shouldn't lose any players. Hades remaining with the bomb, but only 1 HP. So, not going to get very far.
So they actually do manage to save all of their guns here. You know, no one on Cloud9 dying, so this is a fantastic start. Of course, as you mentioned, that first round bomb plant is going to mean the buy-up on the third round here for Savage. And we're not going to see any snipers from them, though. And obviously, that's totally fine. They even have somewhat of a picking edge, having the AKs against the M4s and FAMASs here. So this is definitely a round for Savage to pick up if they play the picking game. This is going to be something that could really work to their favor. If Cloud9 are smart, though, they're going to be denying these picks, knowing that there are AKs out there on the map, which definitely outperform their measly FAMASs and M41Ss. So we do see a pretty nice outside setup here. Semphis above, but he's actually going to get taken down straight away. Looks like Hades going to make the jump across, but Cloud9 still with a very strong presence outside. Going to drop Hades as well, so they are struggling, Savage, to make their way outside towards Secret to gain this ground, just taking the jewels, taking the picks. And Cloud9, they just don't care going for these pick situations, and they're down 2 players already.
Yeah, so that's an early advantage here for Team Savage in this third round. There are 45 seconds remaining, and they are still yet to push a site. Nothing does get one back to make it a 3-on-3. But valens does get the advantage back in the favor of Savage with a Galil. He went for a Galil buy to get some extra nades in to make it a bit easier for his team to push the site, and it has paid off as they do take down the entire Cloud9 team. Some of which had FAMASs. There was a Mag 7 in the mix, so they could go for a buy here if they wanted to, and they will, in fact. So we've got the M4s coming out, and only one FAMAS for Hiko, who grabbed some nades as well, so he's gone for the more economical purchase.
Yeah, I mean, the only criticism I could really make is Cloud9 just facing so heavily outside against the AKs with FAMASs. I mean, it's definitely would have been.
Valens has changed his Galil for a Mag 7, so I'm wondering.
Fair enough.
I'm wondering if he's done this for an expected eco. So you can see the angle he's holding, so he can retreat if he gets rushed.
I think the strat here is the outside taking the secret, whilst he can just rotate through and through hut into vents with that mag, keep it close range at all times.
Great wallbang there by Nothing through main to take out one of the Savage players, who will get a trade kill eventually on Semphis. So Secret may be opened up to them. They are going to still loiter outside around the main area. So we'll see. Again, it is a case of pushing the sites. There are 4 CTs left. The bomb is down now and is completely exposed.
Going to come out for the response, but there is a bit of a double angle there. Dumore going to get another response. Dumore being very on top of things so far, and we'll have to see how he can handle this 1-on-2 right now. He's got 35 seconds left on the clock, and we can see sgares just watching for that double back here, as we do have Dumore committing to the lowest bomb site. Going to go through, and nothing is there, and he's going to stop him from getting that plant down. So generally speaking, Savage, they got shut down outside before they could really do anything, and this was very well done by Cloud9, realizing perhaps maybe a read, maybe just a default setup, just having Savage run into it, but by and large Savage, they couldn't run their strat, and now of course we see Cloud9 looking pretty darn good.
Okay, so we've got Dumore, who's brought down to $350, while the rest of his team have CZs under languishing around $1,500 to $2,500. So I don't know if he bought too fast or if they have some kind of interesting tactic here. Nobody else has got armor, so I don't know if this is a mistake on his part, buying when his team couldn't afford to, because I don't see how else it kind of makes sense here.
Well, they also have 4 players who will be able to buy up properly, so it might work out in their favor. Dumore going for the pick here with this rifle. If he's going to be able to get it, obviously that's going to allow them to open up the ramp. And here, it does look like Cloud9 wants to fight, initially losing Semphis, and Dumore going to catch off sgares. If they're fast, they can get down to the lower site, but the rotations already come in. It's so quick from the upper site here, using the vents. And of course, they are going to just delay a little bit. It is a 4-on-3 situation. And we do have Savage slowly eyeing up the angles towards that lower site. Nothing, though, in long. Could be very annoying for them. Long is going to be quite critical for them to take if they have any hope of getting that bomb planted here. Nothing. A key player here for Cloud9 to stop this push from actually working. Does manage to take down one frag. Shroud with another. And Dumor onto the bomb site, though, with very limited support. Only Valens left on his side. Going to go for the plant. Nothing. Surely going to go for the spam through the smoke. And he's not actually there. So well done there by Dumor, getting the bomb planted. Valens now in a 1-on-2. And Shroud comes in from the back. We do see the defuse coming in now from Hiko. And it is a well cleaned up round by Cloud9.
Quite smart that Savage had the smoke out there to kind of throw the CTs off, allowing him to get the bomb down in a different location. Otherwise, he surely would have gone down had the smoke not been there to draw attention away from that plant. And yeah, it was good. It was a good opening on the ramp there by Dumor, and the bomb plant does allow him to get another AK this round. So turned out that it worked for them. Although, had they not got the bomb down there, then he would have had like a $1,500 less than his teammate, so probably wouldn't have been able to buy. So I don't know if it was like a calculated risk or a misbuy there, but it hasn't left him in a worse possible situation. So
you see semphis putting some bullets into the players of Savage as they make their way very rapidly down Secret towards that lower site. Hades making the jump down now. Hiko looking towards Squeaky. They are aware that there could be a player coming from lobby. They haven't cleared it just yet. They haven't got much of a read on it just yet. But here comes nothing from the back from Vents. Gonna do more there as he does just slowly keep himself alive there, making sure his teammates come in. Nothing for another peek there. Onto Long, takes down Hades. There goes the triple for nothing. Taking them all down one at a time. They are stuck in the mud over in Long. And Cloud9 with another very easy cleanup. And Savage, definitely a bit worse for wear now. Going to go for the eco. And this is going to be a really nice round potentially for Cloud9 to really build a very significant amount of money.
Savage have won about 17% of the rounds so far. They're going to want to win about 33%. They won about 5. The 10-5 would be acceptable here on this T side of Nuke. So they've got a few more rounds to win. This is going to be an eco here, so I mean, we're unlikely to see anything. Looks like they're going to go for the same success they had last time on a ramp, try and get a bomb down in B. Have got 2 people facing semphis, and semphis does go down, which means that they could be onto something here. They still have control of the bomb with glorinsz, but he's not going to last very long. Gets taken out by Shroud, and valens falls soon after. So no bomb plant this time, but they are going to be able to buy. Maybe not with an... Well, glorinsz could drop an AWP, but he's gone for a different buy. So looks like Savage not opting for the AWP at the moment on the T side of this map.
Yeah, it does seem to be. I mean, AKs, you can't really go wrong with them if the strat demands it. I'd love to see the wall of smokes outside from them.
Semphis has no rifle at all.
That's surely not right. Because it should show that he has something at least. I think it's just broken. We're going to see nothing actually pushing out there, and Hiko is also chiming in with the frags. semphis from this above position. Obviously, it's a really good push from them. It's combined on 3 angles from 3 different levels as well. So they just take out side by storm. They've done this multiple times. They've really shown a great propensity to actually go for these aggressions and heavy positions. Heavy investments on the outside so far. Valens finds himself alone now, though, holding on to that AK-47, and the bomb is down outside. Obviously, this is pretty much a lost round, but if he could just do some damage, that would certainly be... just kill 1 or 2 players, that would certainly benefit them greatly to really work down some of the money. Because if Cloud9 keeps taking these rounds too cleanly, things are going to get a little bit awkward later on when finally Savage maybe do find themselves in a position where they pick up a round. Well, the eco is going to be too far away, and that's going to be the sad story for them. Looks like Valens going to pick up 1 kill there. Might just be good for some more, as Cloud9 may or may not be passive here. Looks like they're going to go in for the duel, and it's going to be Hiko. Does take Valens down, but he did get 1 frag at the very least, so that's something. And we can already see how badly, how big the disparity is between the money of Savage and Cloud9. But once again, the buy does come in thanks to that consecutive round lost money bonus.
So yeah, Savage is going to keep forcing it up here, just going to cause as much havoc as possible. And Cloud9 with the double AWPs coming out, so I guess one's going to probably go towards ramp. Actually, semphis looking to cover hut/squeaky with it. And Gares is indeed going to be in the ramp area, so we'll see who ends up seeing some action first. Could indeed be Gares here if Dumor chooses to try his luck, but he's going to be playing passive for the time being. Though just make sure no CTs are pushing, and we'll try and exploit them if they do.
Hades actually got dinked there as they were spraying through and were trying to actually hit his teammate who was spraying, who was actually trying to wall bang. So that's pretty unfortunate for Hades there. I feel bad for him, but it's like semphis going to take down Elevate. And you know, the problem is that Cloud9 has such strong setups, or they invest so much in outside, but we're not seeing the grenades come in outside to really deny this. And you know, a lot of these smokes and so on. Instead, Savage are trying to pick into the picking of Cloud9, and obviously they're in a much better position to do that, those kinds of plays. And they are just annihilating them one by one. We're seeing Valens now again, last man standing in lobby, going to be able to swap out that weapon for that AK-47 once again, which is something. But still, even economic damage here is certainly not even going to really scratch Cloud9.
Look at that assault. And the grenades from multiple different places, the peeking, the potential trade kills from Squeaky and the A site as well. It's a great defensive play there, aggressive defensive play by Cloud9, and make it 8-1. Savage with only one round on the scoreboard here, with 6 rounds remaining, including this one. So they really need to get some more rounds under their belt if they are to be in a good position to mount a comeback on the CT side, as we saw in what we saw of the previous match.
Looks like they really want to go for this very fast play. It's going to come in here, and I can see what they're trying to accomplish, but Cloud9 going to just shut it down quite easily so far. Just do more rounds left. No one even picked off. And honestly, I feel the dilemma for them here is that, so if as a team, them looking at the T side against Cloud9 right now, they cannot really just straight up rush. Well, okay, they have to do it either immediately or they have to delay it a lot, because if they do it immediately, maybe they can beat some of the timings of the positioning of the Cloud9 players onto the sites, as well as, you know, maybe beat out some of the pre-nades that they throw. If they delay it at all, the pre-nades will crush them. But let's hold that thought just a little bit. We'll return to their dilemma on the T side here, as we do see Cloud9 setting up for once again another defense here on the outside, but glorinsz going to pick off semphis straight away with the AK-47. There is a player boosted in Gares, funnily enough. It is Hiko. He's going to be able to hear quite a lot of stepping down towards Secret. So Cloud9's nothing going to come in with a frag, but that's going to be all he gets. So they're not really going to stop the approach dead from Savage onto long. It looks like they are going to go potentially. They could actually double back here. They've got a lot of options there. 4 men against the 3 of Cloud9. As we see Hades back up the ladder. This is a fantastic position. Could just open up the upper bomb site, but he can't take down Shroud, even with the element of surprise, and Shroud will drop down to the vents now. Switching up his position. We see Savage could be on the verge of taking this round. Cloud9's defense is scattered now. Savage still trying to work out which avenue of attack will work best for them. glorinsz going to take down Shroud in the vents. Gares with a shot onto Valens as they try to go for the bomb plant on the lower site. And Cloud9 have revealed both players at this point. So Savage, they know where they're coming from, but they just can't stop the rain of bullets coming in from Gares. Do more will take him down, but Hiko should get the easiest of shots. And there it is. Does get the kill onto Dumore to take the round. And it looks like it could have... They had such a strong start. They put Cloud9 to so many awkward decisions, but they couldn't quite pull it off, James.
Yeah, the score's not necessarily reflecting the closeness of some of these rounds. However, it is the rounds that count, and it's 10-1 to Cloud9 here. So Savage running out of opportunities here to get back into this game. I mean, the way things are going at the moment, they may lose the match at the pistol rounds on the second half.
Very possible indeed. And you can see that they want to go for these aggressive picks, but largely the pre-nades are denying them. Dumore might just find the one-on-one, and the shot is missed there by Gares, so he's going to get the pick as well. So already 2 players from Cloud9 going down. So Savage, once again, going to get the advantage at the opening of the round. semphis with a quick double on ramp, though. They don't even spot him, and that's going to be it easily squared up, and better than that. They are one man to the good now, as they have glorinsz and valens to deal with. And they still have held the important areas. They've not conceded any ground whatsoever as valens goes for a peek, but we do see the smoke coming down on ramp as glorinsz looks for a pick on upper. But they've got to try to figure out how to team play this situation, how to communicate to actually bring together a play to make this round possible. We do have Shroud up on rafters.
Gares coming in from Squeaky, all to get an angle onto Hiko. There's 1-on-2 now. He does take down the player in the hut. glorinsz in a 1-on-1 now against Shroud. Can he make the triple real? He will! glorinsz gets the round. What a great spread on at the end there. And he will get them on the board with 2 rounds against the 10 of Cloud9. And this could turn into something.
glorinsz is putting in work for his team at the moment. He's the only guy with double figures at the moment. 11 kills. Nearest to him is Desi, who looks like a sub from Team Elevate, which is he's on 6 kills. Hades with only 1 kill and 12 deaths. Normally with the AWP, but no such luck today.
We're going to have semphis taking the first kill on Desi there. As sgares just easily gunning them down with the Scar. So far, Savage this round not quite finding the picks as they were in the previous couple rounds. glorinsz going to take down semphis, but already perhaps too much damage has been dealt to Savage as they struggle with a very weak glorinsz, a weak buy, and Hades in defense area. They're going to actually take down nothing as well, but the positions are still held relatively well by Cloud9. It should be difficult still for Savage to find themselves a planting opportunity. sgares going to re-emerge from the lower side up onto ramp to see what's going on. Hiko there for the support as Shroud has the upper side on lock. So they're building together their knowledge of exactly what is going on the map right now. As we see glorinsz just waiting in the hut right now. They need to coordinate themselves into the bomb site. And here they go. All together. All 3 going to take down Shroud immediately. Smoke for main. Going to have Hiko from above. Take down valens. The bomb should get planted though towards main. And they do have, they did have a player, 2 players to 2 players. Hades going to be left now. Oh, did he just run out of bullets? I think he did just run out of bullets. Going to have to get the hell out of there. They might just go for the defuse here. They got sgares to cover with the Scar. In fact, they're both going to go for the peak. Perhaps not deciding who's going to go for the defuse. Hades comes in from the back. Oh my goodness, he's actually going to get the kill with the Glock. Unfortunately, it's not going to win them the round, but almost going to turn into something quite funny. But either way, going to have another round for Cloud9. Savage do struggle.
That was an awkward situation at the end for Cloud9 because the person who had the kit was the person with the M4. And I think it was Gares there with the auto sniper trying to defend, which was a little bit awkward because obviously you want the more versatile M4 to defend with than sniper rifle at close range. But they managed to eke out the round, and it is 11-2 in favor of Cloud9 here as we go into the second last round of this first half. And looking at the money, you can see that Team Savage are on an eco.
Oh, so that grenade. That was painful, man. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, glorinsz down to 20. Look how much damage has just been done by 2 grenades. They're almost, 3 of them are just significantly damaged. And sgares is going to go to town with the Scar. And should be business as usual here on ramp for sgares. He's actually quite low. Going to consider just jumping down lower and get the support there from Shroud. He drops down from rafters. And we're going to have Hiko coming in from hell as well to help Shroud. They just get the spray down. And they're all falling there. Desi alive with that P250, and he's not going to get anything, of course. So clean round there for Cloud9, and yeah, going to get the last buy coming here for Savage. Usually the rounds in which they find themselves with anything to work with is the rounds where they find the picks. We're not really seeing them able to scrap together enough, any set plays or anything like that to really give themselves a strong chance on the entry into certain areas or bomb sites. So far, so good for Cloud9.
Yeah, so again, you can see one player fragging hard for Team Savage, but it's not enough. His teammates need to step up to the plate in this last round. I mean, 2 rounds is not going to be enough of a that's a long road back to victory here on the CT side of nuking. That is minimal mistake.
Very nice from glorinsz there. Gets the pick onto sgares, very aggressively angled. Dumore also going to find himself the picks as well. We've seen this happen in a round previous. They've opened up ramp, they've opened up secret. Now Cloud9 have to scramble together, just figure out, okay, what can we do here? As we do have Savage just relaxing at this point in time, making Cloud9 move. Let them make the mistake. Here goes Hiko, though, does take down Hades. Very well done from Hiko. As we have Savage just going back for this upper site. Dumore in the vents, going to pop up there, get the trade. Wonderfully timed there by Dumore, but he does go down to semphis regardless. And we have Hiko coming in from main. He is smoked off. This is the only thing really helping off Savage right now. Oh, glorinsz with a fantastic headshot there onto semphis. And that's going to be the bomb down on the lower side. Hiko, is he going to be able to clutch this? He's in a 1-on-2 against glorinsz and Desi. And it's like glorinsz is going to take him out. So a 12-3 half there. Savage do put one more on the board, but it's still going to be very, very tough for them to actually come back in this. And we'll have to see how their CT side is.
Yeah, here comes a critical round. As always, for Team Savage, if they lose this round, they're going to have to force up the following round. And if they lose that round, then it's pretty much curtains for them. So this is going to be all to play for. We saw how long the pistol round took in the first match of tonight, and that shows you the importance of these pistols, especially on a lopsided map like Nuke. So let's see what the T's have in offer for these guys, who seem to be playing passively on ramp with only valens looking from a position where he can retreat. So it looks like they might be playing for the retake if it ends up being on B.
Yeah, this is something we saw Neko guys do previously very, very well. And using those setups. But actually, speaking of which, it looks like Savage don't have anyone to really spot that much. That was kind of the beauty of how Neko guys played it before. They had players that were able to actually do a little bit of spotting safely to then fall back. They took some damage here and there, but they were able to then know exactly how to move around the terrorist side, who were constantly on the move themselves. So we do have a nade going in there. glorinsz readying himself with his own grenade, but not hearing the stepping to really justify tossing it just yet. Going to see valens falling back now, but gets caught in the back. What a reaction shot there from valens over at Hell. And all of a sudden, Savage with two fantastic kills at the start of this round. Cloud9 not able to make any ground much really here, apart from the outside. But that's what Savage has given them. Going to get the bomb down, though, on the lower sights. And Savage perhaps a little bit too passive there. All five alive, but the bomb does go down. Shroud on the side itself. Looks like Gares going to open up with a frag onto Dumore. Shroud from below right now. Going to have to stay alive. He's got three players above him. This is going to be very difficult, very awkward. Does take down one player. There could be the second kill coming in from Shroud. And Hiko with number 3. And that's going to be the round there. I'm struggling to understand how the bomb even went down without any CT players, even anywhere close to the lower site there.
Yeah, there are some techniques to do that where you kind of, like, you can throw a grenade through huts from lobby, which bounces off the window frame, blows up the vent and the door at the same time. Then you can throw a smoke from roughly the same area, which often allows you to run through the smoke. If you know your time, you can run through the smoke into the vent without being fully seen by CTs. So, and then there's a meter game of that as well, where if you do that in later rounds, and the second T who covers hut rotates to look at ramp as well. Sorry, to look at Squeaky, and then you can just go through hut and shoot them both in the back. But first pick is from semphis onto Hades. So Cloud9 are one man up, and we've seen this position from Get Right, which is really hard to detect. So let's see if he's going to be found out here.
Desi not finding any action in Get Right, so we have to see. And the only reason for that is obviously, as we can see, Cloud9 then wrapping around towards ramp again. This is something that Savage did, or tried to do, something that we saw also in the other match with Iowa Power. They were fond of this also. Gares going to go for the drop, finds himself the kills on Valen. And right now, Cloud9 in a very nice situation where they should get the plant down and not really lose any players here. It's going to be very difficult for Savage to pick off any kills at these ranges with the pistols. Cloud9 very ready for this. We do have Desi, I think, moving from long. Does seem like Dumore's going to get 2 quick kills, though, with the 5-7. Goes down to 3 health, and all of a sudden, a lot of good damage done on the economy. But look at this. Does it even matter? 14-3. Cloud9 on the brink of winning this regardless. And we're going to see perhaps a bit of a force-up here from Savage, as they don't want to play for that overtime situation. They don't want to play to tie it up. They want to play to win.
Okay, so glorinsz is going to buy a Mag 7 and no armor, so it looks like it's all on him to try and cause some early problems here for Cloud9, and if he goes down, then that's pretty much the round over.
You know, a couple of Deagles in play. I always have faith for the redeeming 1Deags. And we'll have to see if that comes into play. glorinsz on the top of the hut right there as his teammates bust open the vents to drop for the drop. Because we do have Cloud9 slowly making their way, you know, through onto heaven position. glorinsz going to go down more or less immediately, and things are falling apart rapidly here for Savage on this kind of force buy. Bomb does go down. Not even a single player dropped yet for Cloud9. Desi not even able to make a kill either, so 15-3, and already it's looking absolutely hopeless here for Savage, as they need to get 12 rounds in a row to play for that overtime. Otherwise, they are done and dusted. And we do have the UMP. I believe in the UMP. I believe.
We've got an UMP, we've got a Nova, we've got a Deagle. This is the force buy to end all force buys here from Team Savage. So they're going to be aggressive here, and this may end very quickly. So let's see how this goes. The trades are coming in here. We've got two people down here for Savage, and that may be a third if nothing can connect. He does with Hades. And Desi, the sub, is going to be the last man standing here. He's in the lobby at the moment, and he may be able to take this for his team, but it looks unlikely. He's going to run out of bullets soon with only 7 in the chamber, and that's going to be that.
So semphis going to get the last frag to secure the win. So 16-3 there. Cloud9 a very, very easy sweep there. And something, I want to finish the fort. They kind of got like a third of the way through with the T side there for Savage. So kind of the problem for them, this is more or less the T nuke dilemma. So like if we just run through how a basic round goes against CTs, like I said, you either can like rush and immediately like maybe have some luck and beat some of the timings onto the upper site, maybe with some fancy pop flashes and pre grenades or something to blow up open the door and stuff like that to kind of beat their counter grenades. Maybe that's the thing. Or you have to delay it a lot to wait for their counter nades to go out. Otherwise, you can't just run through the smokes and molotovs, obviously. So what we saw is, what usually most teams do, because of that kind of dead time in lobby where they can't really push for picks very easily because of all the grenades, usually they expand outside a little bit, maybe even with 3 players. And often, teams like to throw, at least in the European scene, we see this a lot, they like to throw the wall of smokes, which can be done with just two smoke grenades. So it's quite an effective thing to do to try to get some map control, just as a little light map control play, not necessarily to do anything much more than that, just to give yourself maybe some more options, maybe force them back and get some information. So this is like the kind of like the standard slow opening where you have like a guy in radius stopping the CTs from pushing. So that's like the standard, right? So every time they were like, okay, we can't really rush. We don't want to go into these nades. We don't have set plays to play with. We didn't see a proper set play on the upper site from them. Reminisce, like if I think of some good ones, like LDLC Happy has like a really, really solid one that's very well crafted together. But they didn't have that to throw in the mix, so we saw them pushing outside a lot. Cloud9, they often had 3 players outside. That's quite a lot, and a lot of teams don't actually do that. That's quite an aggressive setup, a very vulnerable setup, and they did it in moments as well when like they had just FAMASes against AKs. So this also meant that because of that, there was only like 1 player on ramp very often, and we saw that they actually got loads of picks there later on that actually opened the round. So it seemed like they kept running into the outside setup again and again, which is exactly what Cloud9 wanted. And generally speaking, it was quite a shame to see that they weren't able to string together more ramp pushes when Cloud9 was so heavily pushed outside.
Yeah, and again,
the tangent is real.
You see the fruits of the CT labor here on you, and why, and that's an example of why you do have an advantage, in my opinion, when you start on the CT side. Because if you can put a stomping in like that, then there just isn't the same window of opportunities to get back in the game as in the second half as there is in the first half. Because in the first half, if you start a CT and let's say you lose a few rounds to the Ts or whatever, or let's say the Ts get 5 rounds, you're not out of the game. You still have a buffer, and you can choose a more aggressive situation in response to that when you go on the T side. But when you start on the T side first and you get say 2 rounds, and then you have to start on the CT side, if you lose that pistol, you're done. Yeah,
it's pretty rough, isn't it? It's pretty brutal. But guys, due to the delays and the matches that have to be rescheduled, I do believe that is the last game that we're going to be doing. Is that correct?
That's the last game for today. We had some issues earlier between the server and Steam, which caused some problems. And because there's so many delays today. We're going to reschedule and ideally, we're going to try and do 2 nights for you next week rather than the usual one. So we'll have a lot more content coming for you next week. But we do sincerely apologize for those, and we may put out some more information once we've solved the issues that we've experienced today. So really apologize for that, and hopefully you won't be experiencing that in future broadcasts here from FACEIT.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys. I hope that you actually stayed to watch this match and get to see a bit of Cloud9 action. So props to you if you stuck around, and thanks so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. James, are you gonna be here next time?
Always.
Will you be in Sweden maybe?
I'll be in Sweden on Friday to Monday. I'll be here.
Okay, you'll be okay. Nice. All right, guys. Good night.